What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And for this one, I want to talk to you guys about the first Inhuman character that I decided to work on, and that is Gorgon. Now, as you guys can see, I have him next to She-Hulk and the Ancient One, and the reason why is because the reason I chose to work on him first is not because I'm a big fan of him, because personally I'm not. I think he's okay. And the reason is, I think his leadership is one of the best in the game. So I wanted to show you guys how he stacks up compared to two of the best leaders in the game as well. So, as it stands, guys, we have 6 leaderships in the game that can get you above 45%. Well, 45% or a little bit higher. She-Hulk being the one that can get you just a little bit higher. And these 3 are the first and the fourth will be Star-Lord, who, apart from his leadership, is not that great. So that's something for you to take into note. The 5th will be Hela, if I can find her, right here. And number 6 is a paid option, which is Riri Williams or Ironheart. Now, of all these guys, four of them will only boost your attack if you're using energy-based characters. So that's something that's very, very specific. It's a very big imbalance, which is why Gorgon stood out to me, because he boosts physical attack. Because as it stands, there's only him, guys. He's the only one that will get you above the standard 30% generic leaderships that we are currently used to. So if you don't have him, he's definitely an option that you should think about. Now, another thing that made him stand out to me is because, as you guys can see right here, Ancient One doesn't just boost energy attack for everyone. He only does it for blast types, and that is the very same thing that Star-Lord does. So you can only use his leadership to his full potential with other blast characters, and blast characters naturally are higher damage dealing characters, so they don't necessarily need this leadership, whereas some of the physical characters in this game, they're really, really bad, and they do need Gorgon's leadership. Someone like Spider-Man, you know what I'm saying? So that's something for you guys to think about. Also, She-Hulk's leadership, guys, it's very, very good. I love her. I think she's amazing. Well, I think her leadership's amazing. She could use some work. Anyways, although the leadership is good, you can see that it only works against male types. And although the game is largely populated by males, there are certain situations where this leadership will be completely useless to you. Where, for example, if you're going up against Proxima in the World Boss mode or Super Giant, this leadership will not work. It will do nothing for you because they're females. So, yeah, that's why Gorgon's leadership stands out to me, because as you guys can see, it will boost all allies. And this is great because the combat class and the speed class are the 2 classes in the game that currently don't have a leadership. Well, didn't have a leadership that got them the 45% damage increase, because the friggin' universal types have Hela, and they don't really need friggin' leaderships like that, because they have people like Thanos, friggin' Ronin, and most of them are really high damaging characters and are really good on their own. But the combat class and the speed class are 2 of the lower end classes in the game, so they really needed that damage boost. So this guy right here will be really helpful to you, because he will give you the damage boost for both those classes that really need it. They really need it, guys. So that's one of the things that made him stand out to me. Now, overall, as a character, I think he's okay. He's not great. He's not going to be a world boss killer. He can do it if you play him very carefully and if you have Striker. He's not going to be one of those solo type characters that you can pick up and just like mow everything over. All his muscle on him is not really going to say much. So, yeah, he's not going to be useful to you in alliance battle, that's for sure. He doesn't have the kind of survivability that he needs. His damage is okay with his own leadership. Timeline, for sure, he's not going to do anything in here. Unless you're in like friggin' bronze, he's not going to do anything for you. Shadowland, he can probably do okay, because his leadership is good, and he has a little bit of survivability in his kit. However, it's still not enough for me, guys, because although he has a bind and a partial iframe on the War Stomp, this guy right here reminds me pretty much of Amadeus Cho's Gamma Stomp, because the animation is exactly the same. You jump off the map for a quick second, drop back down, but unlike Cho, he has the bind at the end, which gives him that little bit of safety so he can move into one of his other skills. So this skill right here, it has a decent range. The damage is okay. However, the all speed debuff that it gives to the enemy, I'm not really seeing it when I'm trying it in Shadowland, because when these guys are coming to kill you, like they're coming relentlessly. I don't notice that. Anyways, the 4-star passive is pretty useless because even with this 4-star passive, guys, um, I have almost max attack speed with this guy, and I still have friggin' trouble using the one skill that I can't, for the life of me, get off without taking damage. And it's this skill right here, guys. The War Cry. Now, this skill is a pain in the motherfucking ass. Like, like, sorry, guys. I'm sorry I had to swear, but this skill is a pain in the ass. Like, whenever you use it, because of how slow the wind up on the animation is, you will almost always take damage. And it's terrible because if you have to put yourself in harm's way to buff yourself to lessen the amount of damage that you take, it's kind of counterproductive. And on top of that, it's a buff that will be beneficial to you in World Boss mode because it's a super villain types, he will do more damage to them. However, in World Boss modes, you don't want to ever be putting yourself in a position where you're taking damage because there's not a lot of characters that can tank friggin' hits from those guys on a consistent base. And this guy is not one of them. So this skill right here, although it's a decent buff, it's really annoying and it takes a lot of timing to get it off without taking damage. So yeah. The 2 skill is a stun and a partial iframe, which is, it's decent, but it's not as good as the War Stomp, because the War Stomp, when you land that final part of the attack, which is the only part of the attack to be honest, once you land, anything that's in the radius of the attack will get stunned, regardless of how many enemies there are. So this skill right here is like just a single target stun. So it's kind of, that's why I say it's not as good, but it's still a stun and a partial iframe, so it's decent. Storming the party, I don't use this skill at all. Like, this skill right here is super reckless, and you're just gonna take a bunch of damage trying to get it off. The damage on it is not that great either. So for this one, guys, I'm gonna take him into the World Boss mode and put him up against Proxima. And I haven't given him an obelisk yet. However, I will probably give him something with defense penetration and maybe like increased damage, or maybe I'll put something on him for more survivability. I have no idea what I'm going to do with him yet, so that's why I haven't put an obelisk on him. So for this one, I guess I'll just go ahead and use him with Medusa and Black Bolt, and then we'll just give him a couple strikers. We'll go with some physical damaging strikers. I guess we'll throw Yellow Jacket in here. Like I said, he's not that safe, so I wanted to negate some of the damage. And we'll do Yondu. And that's going to be a team. Let's roll, guys. Yep. The effects of not having the stun or the bind is already starting to show. And it looks like he's not going to be able to give me a solo clear like I thought. Medusa is going to actually have to finish this one up, guys. And it's pretty much what I expected when I looked at his kit. It's like I said, guys, he's not going to be one of those characters that can give you a solo clear for a world boss. But maybe that's just me. Maybe I just suck using him. If you guys decided to work on him, let me know how he's been working out for you. because with over 100 characters in the game, I guess I can't be expecting myself to be good with every single one of them. If he's been working good for you, please let me know in the comments. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I don't have him set up properly. But that's all for this one, guys. Like always, thank you very much for watching. I hope it was informative, and I'll see you in the next one.